Imagine going to a banquet only to be smothered to death at the dinner table. That is the legend of Heliogabalus, a Roman emperor who buried his dinner guests under a mountain of flower petals. Now this story may be exaggerated, but the Romans were known to love to party and were obsessed with roses. Every spring at the beginning of the rose harvest, the Romans had a Floralia festival. Imagine tables, garlands, crowns of roses, tables heaped with petals. That was how much they loved their roses. Even the Roman legions were caught up in the craze. Later in that same month, they observed an event called Rosalia Signorum, where they decorated their standards with rose petals and marched through the streets in kind of an observance of the season. Roses themselves had reached Rome from the Middle East and Egypt, where they were prized already for perfume and medicinal use. In fact, Rome relied on imports from the region for out-of-season blooms to feed their insatiable appetite for luxury. Writers like Virgil and Pliny grumbled about the drain of resources towards the east. When imports weren't enough, Rome turned over domestic farmland to rose production. The gardens at Paestum became famous for their twice-blooming roses, perhaps the autumn damask of today. But even with imports and domestic productions, there were hints that they couldn't keep up with the demand for roses. Critically, great farmland went over to roses instead of food production, hinting at the true cost of this floral obsession. So the rose was more than just an extravagance, it was a symbol of Roman luxury, something that was important to public festivals, armies, and even the Roman economy itself.